¿Cómo están, mujeres hermosas, valientes, empoderadas? ¿Cómo están? I needed to come on here as a good citizen. I want to let you all know. Hi, Yaya. Pam Blackburn, hi. Cinder Goddess, hi. I haven't not gone outside except for earlier I went for the mail. Hi, St. Martinez. Love Carol, Linda, Peacocks United. And I want to tell you, yesterday I got that little toy and I took it to my little sister's house. And then I had Goito test it out because I wasn't sure about the wheels, if they were properly installed. Because I assembled it, I mean. But then he's over there trying it. And you all know how guys are. He's like, yeah, oh, thanks, cat lady. And Goito's like, Tia, this thing doesn't have enough power. And I'm like, but it's a 21 volt. He's like, it's okay for you, Tia. Just take your time. And I tell him, okay, then I'll use it tomorrow on that little space that I wanted to read. And God loves lazy, ladies. Let me tell you, God loves lazy because I opened the door and it's raining. So this is what the assembled product looked like. That's how it looks, a little dirty because Gorito used it yesterday. It's kind of weak. It's kind of weak, but I think it will do what I want it to do as long as it stays fresh. But I'm okay with working in fresh, but not. I told Ophelia, you better tell her how to do them. Empieza a freír bacon y alza la mantequita, girl, because they are so good. Y luego te haces unas tortillitas recién hechas de harina o de maíz. They are the bomb. I like them. You know how I eat those? Yeah, I'm gonna be the honest lazy person. I do little bags when I buy ground beef. Since I live by myself, I do lunch snack packs of ground beef. I divide it in portions and I freeze it, and then I just take out one little bag and I, fry it up. Y luego le echo coditos, the elbows, pasta elbows, and then I cook with a little bottled waters. So I put one bottled water in there, wait the 15 minutes for everything to cook. And then, ya cuando se está acabando el caldito, because the elbows, they expand, then I grab those habichuelas and I put like 2 or 3 tablespoons in the little sopita and I let it thicken up, and then I don't have to put beans on the side because they're already in the soup. But yeah, they're really good. Those are our cousin works in a factory that makes them over there in Moses Lake. And it's I think your store would your regular stores sell them. But it's an item that we bypass or we overlook because of the way that it's packaged. It's dehydrated in little, like the envelopes, like for the pastaroni and stuff, the little envelopes. And I think it's like up there. It's way pricier than us getting it from our cousin. But I love those beans. I mean, it's like, hey, I tell everybody, it costs 99 cents a pound of beans, $1.19. From 99 cents to $1.19, that's almost what you pay for ground beef. They're not cheap anymore. But this weather, ladies, I shared this to the Pulga pages because I need for everybody to pay attention to the weather, please. I'm not gonna pay too much attention to it because I have 2 or 3 San Marcoses here in my house, okay? What does that mean? That I have plenty of blankets for my birds and for me. And I have no intention of turning on the central air system because I have sinus problems. If I turn on the central air system, you're welcome, girl. If I turn on the central air system here, it will dry up all the atmosphere inside the house. My sinuses will be automatically going into blood clots mode. So it's not going to happen for me. But what I always worry about is every year that we get this 1 week of cold, people forget what they have to do. Do not turn a generator on inside your house. It creates carbon monoxide. Do not turn it on inside your house. If you have the old type of heating systems, like the old heaters that are gas heaters, put a pot of water on top. Be mindful to remind the children that these heaters might burn them if they're messing around them. It's like there's always at least one family that tragically loses their whole house, and it has happened in the last 5 years at least twice that I know of here in Willacy County. So be mindful of what kind of heating system you're gonna use inside your house. Do not turn any wood on inside your house. Don't turn it on in an enclosed room. It's creating fumes that are gonna mess with you. You're gonna either, if you go to sleep, you probably won't wake up. But I'm just, be mindful of the children. It's better to get colchas, blankets, than to be sorry saying, well, I should have done this. No. Prevent doing that. If you don't have a pot to put on top of a gas heater, don't turn it on. Oh, cat lady, I have a friend in Texas City, and she was telling me that they're gonna probably get sleet. And I told her, well, I know that they said down here in South Texas, we might just get cold and rain. But we never know, because if it gets under 32, then we need to worry about pipelines busting. We need to worry about what are you going to do if you want to prevent a pipe from busting at your house. If you're renting, of course, you're not going to worry about it, but you still have to worry about the little things. These people are quick to turn the grid off. Don't forget, Texas owns one of the 3 grids for electricity in the United States. Texas does not share electricity with anyone. But during these type of weathers, they are quick to turn the grid off because they say that the grid is being overwhelmed by power usage. It overheats and stuff, even if it's cold. So, you need to The windshield, what you feel. So be careful about being outside without any crema on your face. Hey, you know, as women, we need to remind each other about the little things. Hey, put some moisturizer, get a crema, put it on your face. Even if it's cold weather, that cold weather can do more damage than the sun. Because in the sun, your body goes into thermal, it's hot, it's going to sweat. But in the cold, it's not going to do that and it's just going to let your skin burn. So, I mean, I don't know how cold it's going to be, but of course, we're already ready for the bonfire, mi Goito. We'll try to sneak a grid on top of the little bonfire on his Christmas gift and see if Ophelia will do some tortillas and we'll sit around it. But it's like I'm not sure yet if we will do that live or not. But I mean, for us, it's just a reminder of being around the fire with family. That's what we used to do as children. We did it in 2020 as adults and cooked on the grill. 4 days they kept us with no electricity here in South Texas. So it's not like we haven't gone through it. And for us, it was just a reminder of our childhood, making caldo on the lumbre and then cooking other meals on the lumbre and making the tortillas and singing with our brothers. That's the memories that every once in a while Facebook pulls out and we're like, wow, we were all together at that time. um, Frank was still with us and he was all worried about the primo not being there. And then the primo got there, and then we all were singing around the fire and eating. And of course, we all had our sweaters on because it was freaking cold, but it wasn't raining on us, which was a plus. But I worry for people that do have children. I have my little birds, and I have a 100-watt light bulb on a lamp that I can put inside their little enclosure and it will keep them warm. So I'm not worried about my pets. But if you have pets, then you have to worry about them too. Not only the children, you have to worry about the pets being warm. I know Goito and Ofelia bought sweaters for the dogs and stuff like that. Like 2 weeks ago when it was cold, they started wearing their sweaters. And remember to, yes, yeah, remember the elderly. You need to remember that they forget sometimes to cover themselves. They forget. So be mindful to make sure that if you have a older person living with you, that they are covered with a colcha, that they have a warm colcha on them. And I know that most of us have central air and heat. I just refuse to turn it on. I have the AC on when it has to be on. Like for the last 3 days, it hasn't turned on at all. So, and I'm like, oh, finally, I'm gonna get a light bill that's going down. But it's like I was complaining about the water bill. It's like nothing has changed, and my water bill went to $85. I'm like, what the heck? And then you start hearing them what they want to do with all the money that they're getting from everybody's bills. And it's like, oh, órale. Nobody here to control them. But I'm here to let you all know, hey, just be careful. If you have to get gas for a generator, get it ahead of time. Don't be out there in the streets if there's ice on the roads. Um, So you knew somebody that had Alzheimer's and would get out of the house? Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't say that that's a road that all of us will take, Cat Lady, because a lot of us are going to the next page early in our lives and not getting to the Alzheimer's age. But hi, Dora. That is sad. My aunt, she would take care of a lady, and she took care of her until she passed away. It was my aunt was her caregiver, and her husband would come and visit her once a week. The lady lived with my aunt, and she had to make the whole garage her room, and she had to make sure that she wouldn't get out of there because she would go outside, and then my aunt would be having to look for her. Um, Not that many times. It didn't happen that many times, but I mean, it is sad when it does happen, and there's no relatives there. There is no relatives to watch them. A lot of those Alzheimer people are getting put in homes or getting private care, you know, because of their illness. But it is sad because they don't know, they don't remember to cover themselves. They think they're fine, or they'll think that they can still cook. They can't be around the stove. They cannot. They'll forget. They'll burn themselves or, you know, leave a pot on. You always got to be watching them. It is a sad story. Um, Saint Martinez, two homeless people in a tent passed away from the carbon monoxide poisoning. Yes, that's why I'm here. I'm here to remind everybody, don't just be turning on generators inside the house. Do not do it. Oh, turn on the generator right outside the door if you don't have a long enough extension cord, but make sure that it's outside the door. Be mindful if there's other children. Now, if you want to already go to the next page in your life and you live by yourself, go ahead, go for it. But be mindful if there's other people there. Remember, there is things you're not supposed to do during cold weather. Do not turn on a heater if you don't have a pot of water on top of it. And I'm not talking about electric heaters. That's Greg Abbott's and Ted Cruz's problem if they turn off the grid for all those electric heaters. I'm talking about the gas heaters, the ones that had the little stones in the front and they had a flat top. We used to have one, and Mom always had a pot of water on top of it. And it could have been because heat is going to dry up the atmosphere, and we all suffered from sinuses. Yeah, they decide that they're going to go in the car and turn on the heater in the car. Yeah, don't do it. Don't go in the garage and turn on the car in a garage. That's an enclosed area. The car motor, the muffler still emits carbon monoxide. And it's not that people don't think. They either forget or they're not thinking that it's going to happen to them. But we need to be mindful that it has happened in the past. And we just need to remind everybody that this week it will be cold. And it might be cold enough for the people upstairs, the governor, the senator, and all of them, to decide that they will close down that Texas electric grid. I don't care how many windmills we have in Williston County. If those people decide to close down that electrical grid, all of us will be in the same boat with no electricity. Don't be opening up your hielera every 5 seconds, neither. Because if you don't open up the refrigerator and they turn off the electric grid, everything in there will be fine for at least 2 or 3 days. If you're not opening that refrigerator every 5 minutes, it will be okay. They will not keep that grid off for long periods of time, but I don't know how old the grid is. All I know is that there's 3 in the United States. Texas owns 1. They will not share electricity with anybody. And that's why when I hear that Canada gives electricity to some of the states up there, I'm like, oh, wow. They're getting electricity from somebody else, not even from the United States. And then some of the other states on this other side, I'm not sure if Mexico gives them electricity, but not in Texas. Texas has their own. Now, them MFs upstairs, they will turn it off though, and then they'll be trying to hide the fact that they're taking their family to Mexico because it's too cold in Texas. So Ted Cruz did that the last time, and his ass got caught. That was funny. I was eating a chicken fried steak sandwich. But I wanted to come on here and let y'all know that it's going to be cold. Take care of your plants if you have any. If you don't, that's fine. But if you have pets, take care of them. Make sure the elderly get covered. Don't be turning on generators inside the house and stuff. Get ready. Be prepared with what you need. Bread. Ham. Because we don't know. This is like, you always act like a hurricane time during this 1 week of freaking cold that we get here in Texas in February, and it's January, so that means that we might get it again. It usually between January and February, we will get the 1 week of cold, and then every other day of the year is hot as hell. Your mom used to have those kind of heaters. I think I have one in the attic. Because when I took the gas off of this house, Linda, I took everything that was gas out. So, I mean, just be mindful of what we're doing, why we're talking about it, because it has happened before. We have lived through it. We have lived through Greg Abbott and Ted Cruz turning off the Texas grid and not having electricity. They don't care. Once they make that decision, it's going to be a done deal. And they will not turn it on unless, the freezing cold is over. I remember the last time that happened, the 4 days that we had no electricity, people were going to the gas station to get gas for the generators and stuff. You know what? If you're off today from work, check the generator. Make sure that it has the oil in it. Make sure that it has enough gas. Make sure that your gas tanks that you have are full. You don't want to get caught in the middle of the cold Yes, you don't want to get caught with no gas in the middle of the night and then find out that, hey, Valero's line is real long, Exxon's line is real long, Love's line is real long, HEB's closed, the co-op is closed. You want to be prepared, and we do make public announcements for people to start preparing themselves for things that will happen. Make sure that you have batteries, flashlights, make sure that your phones are charged. Not everybody has those little satellite uh, battery powered packs that you put in the sun. Yes, Scarlett, it's a public announcement. Public service announcement for everybody. If you need anything from the pulga, go get it before it's too cold to be out in the street. And what are you doing out in the street when there's ice on the concrete? We don't know how to drive in that stuff. Leave that to the people upstairs, like New York, Pennsylvania. All they know how to drive in the snow. We don't. I still remember when it snowed and me and Alan were at the cathedral in Galveston, coming out from a midnight mass during Christmas one year. I don't know if it was 2003 or 2013. No, it was in 2003. And it snowed on Christmas Eve. We were at the midnight mass at the cathedral in Galveston. When we got out of that church, it was beautiful. There was snow everywhere. We were like, wow, But then me and Ellen had to drive on the causeway across to Texas City and Lamarck. And the truck started spinning up there on the causeway. Good thing nobody else was on it, because it started spinning and I'm like, oh, damn, we're going to fall in the Gulf of Mexico. So we're not used to, as South Texans or as Texans, we're not used to driving in icy or snowy type of conditions. They don't sell chains for tires over here because we don't get that type of weather, and then when it happens, well, we love it. We're taking the videos. I was taking videos the second time it happened 10 years later, and I was doing the drinks with the vodka, the snow. Why not? I don't care. God's ice snow cone for me. You just put a plate out there and collect it. Does it have germs from the air? Yes, it probably did, but it didn't kill me, so I'm still here talking about it. No, we don't have those trucks that pour salt on the roads so that ice won't form. So that Alan's truck was rotating on top of the causeway, crossing back to Texas City and Lamarck. He lived in Lamarck and I lived in Texas City, but I had gone to his house so we could go to the midnight mass. And on our way back is when it happened and we were spinning, and it's a good thing no other cars were there. So, I tell people there's a lot of things that I've lived through, and that's why I can say it. And I had a person put a rude comment after a show and saying, you can't be giving advice if you're dumb. I'm dumb for a lot of things, or I can act dumb, but I have lived through a lot of things, including a live shooting in a store. And that wasn't easy. The store was packed with kids because it was the day before school started in Texas City. And I was so angry that person didn't kill himself. So I don't know if he lived after that incident. He didn't kill himself there. He tried. He didn't kill the person he went in there to kill. And then all that was crossing through my mind Because this motherfucker's gonna cost us tax dollars because now they're gonna take him to UTMB, fix up his eyes because he went like this, and the bullet went and blinded him probably. And he's gonna cost us money for the rest of his damn life. Didn't accomplish a damn thing except come over here and cause a ruckus. Of course, Sears wanted to send me to a psychiatrist because I had lived through that type of an experience. And I'm like, why? You know, it's not like I have a choice of where my job is. I still have to work at your store. It happened at somebody else's store. But it happened. So, I tell people live shootings, unless you live through one, you know, there's no way to explain it. Like, the floor is not low enough. Even if you get on the floor and pull whoever you can down, I think I might have been like 20 feet from where it happened, and it was bad because I was pulling kids down. My kid and two other kids were pulled down, and I was like, just stay down. It's like you're trying to protect other people. But right now, we're worried about this weather. It hits us like once or twice a year, and it's always in January and February. So I'm going to let you all go with a reminder to please get the stuff that you need ahead of time. Get bread, get ham or cheese or whatever you need. But if you have a generator, don't turn it on inside the house. Don't go inside your garage and turn on a generator inside your garage neither. Make sure it's outside and it's in an area that has air going and flowing everywhere. Don't turn it on inside. There's a lot of stuff has happened in the last few years here with those type of things. So just be very careful. And, get the stuff that you need. Get the gasoline. Have it ready. Check the oil on those generators. Check what you have to check. Because right now, I'm wearing this inside my house. There's no heater here. And it's comfortable. I think inside of here, I think it feels right now in the 60s. But if I go outside, it's going to be cold because it's raining. So just be careful. Want to let y'all go, beautiful ladies. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, Yaya.